Oh man, we're here. Give me I've been setting up. Sorry about that. Here we go. All right. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be. Welcome to the Blue Madness Podcast, a production of Dodgers 2080. This is Tim Rogers, and we're here to talk about the 2024 World Series champions as we enter the golden era of Dodgers baseball. Well, folks, what do you know? We just talked about it the other day, playing around with Canva with the whiteboard, and what do we get? We get a Gavin Lux trade. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Yeah, so we're here. See, in the house we have Roy Estrada, Craig Osterberg, Mr. John Rod. Um, I'm, I'm excited about what happened. Can't lie. Um, Jeff Snyder said it best. We wanted the best for we wanted the best for Lux, but it just didn't. It never happened, and who knows if it was going to happen with the Dodgers. So all the best to him in Cincinnati. That's it. The guys that they got for him. I can't even pronounce his name quite yet. I keep getting him confused with the pitcher who used to be at the Braves and the singer for Lincoln Park. um, Let me get this thing straight here. Let's see. Am I there? Let's see. Yeah, I'm there. All right. Still got the white walls. Sorry about that, folks. Going to be a bit. Um, let's see. So Gavin Lux is a red. We've seen that. Um, Good for him. I hopefully it's a good opportunity for him. I'm a little concerned for him in that um it was they're talking about him being a utility player. So let's say Sirota, Mike Sirota. And the competitive balance pick right now is pick 37. It's probably going to go down after we hear about all the guys that signed as a contract. Um, they So all the qualifying offer guys. So that's going to mess around with the draft order a bit. But the good news is they're going to get um, they're going to get bonus money. Last year at the 37 pick it was 2.5 million. So let's call it 2.3 to 2.5 million, which is awesome. That gives them a lot of room to mess around and try to, go big or go home. Oops, sorry about that. Go big or go home with some of the moves that they can make in the draft. It's good they have that money. They can really go at it. They always have to play catch up because they have to pay the price for signing free agents. I totally get that. Um, and they have to. They're already drafting low no matter what, so they have to get creative. So, was it 2022? Well, let's go the last few draft picks, right? Going backwards, Kellen Lindsey, the shortstop. Trey Turner's the comp. Kendall George. Let's hope Juan Pierre is not the comp. Um, Dalton Rushing. Got him with the 40th pick in the draft. Really good pick, obviously. Go Maddox Bruns. We hope he gets healthy. And then before that was Bobby Miller. We need 2023 Bobby Miller, not 2024 Bobby Miller. And in 2019, Cody Hosey instead of Gunnar Henderson. We did get a good, really the best one that's panned out is so far is Michael Bush, and that's because of who we traded him for. And just remember, we've ripped off the Reds before. So let's hope that happens again. I know that I am optimistic that the Dodgers can pull that off again. I'm just going to be the Dodgers are better at this than most of the other front offices. So I'm going to roll with that. In that, I'm looking at it that way. That's for sure. So, like it's been said, we do know at the front office knows what they're doing. They're really good at their job. They're better than us. But if you're missing Lux, that's okay. That's okay. I what I liked about Lux is he's homegrown, but I just wasn't going to happen with the Dodgers. It looks like I think that's at the end of the day, that is the end result of this. So I'm trying to make sure I'm streaming on Rumble and Twitch. I'm wondering if I am. I hope so. Says I'm live. Well, we'll see. And then, of course, on YouTube, that is the place to be, I guess. So hopefully that's all working. Let's see. So lots of things to cover. To be honest, I really put a lot into the
no,
not that one, into the front page about all the things. Just some of the things we want to talk about. Sign Kiké. Does this leave room for Kiké? Is Arenado still in play? We'll talk about that. Mookie to second base. Got to be honest, I'm a fan of that. One surprise was Diego Cartaya was not in this trade. What's next for him? What the heck is going on in San Diego? We'll talk about that a little bit. And then last but definitely not least, Tanner Scott, por favor. Please. Let's just do that. Get it done. It's not my money. You can never have enough pitching. All those good things. We all understand those types of thingies. I'm going to get it all lined up. I'm going to bring up the Canva app to talk about the where'd it go? To talk about the starting lineup. What does it look like? Oh, it's being stupid. Gosh darn it. Or I'm being stupid. How about that? All right. Starting lineup. Let me line this stuff up. Let me line it up. Let's get this going here. I need to go here. So let's change that. Hope everyone's doing well. Just, sorry to just kind of jump right into all this stuff. But we got my boys Vince Imperio and Jeff Snyder coming up later, so I wanted to get on there. We'll trying to get in there, get some time in before they get in there. They obviously have a bigger show than I do. It's okay. Let's look at this. So, all right, you ready? Let's start from here. Let's go. So the first thing we do on this one, Gavin Lux is gone. That is a done thing. If it will delete. Yeah, it's just, I don't know why it's not. We'll just take that out of here. There we go. Second base is open. So there's a few things that can happen. The thing that I think a lot of people think will happen is this. Oh, let me fix this. There is no dash. Haesung Kim could slot in there. So that's one thing. One of the things I would see, I'd like to see this. Doogie Butts to here. Tommy Edman to here. Luis Robert to there. That's one thing. Or another thing, if they want to keep that going on and maybe do a little bit of this. Little platoon there. Maybe. I know there's still some Norman Avocado fans. Someone got on me for saying that. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I just give up on some of these things. I got to quit trying to please everyone. 95% is my goal. Could that happen? I don't think it's happening. I really don't. Let me make sure that's in range there. I don't see that happening. but you never know. Now the real question is, how bad is Mookie Betts? How invested is he in being at um, at shortstop? So I'm just don't know where to put it. Of course, there's other options. It could be, you could see this happening with, that, or that with, if he gets it going again. This, I don't know. Let's hope James Outman can recover, can become that guy again. What are your thoughts, folks? What do on what you see here? What does it look like to you? Let's go back to some of the chat. We have the incline in the house. No love lost there, I'm guessing, Mr. Klein. I saw your posts. Um, Stupid trade. They should go for Robert Jr. for Lux, CT, and Outman. That's not near enough. I mean, yeah, that's not near enough. Lux. So we did okay with the Lux thing. The return is, for what it could have been a few years ago, it's not too bad. Robert is going to cost you. It's going to hurt. That one's going to hurt. At a minimum, they're going to have to throw in a pitcher like a Robleski, and then they're going to have to, is it an Alex Freeland? Maybe they want Dalton Rushing. I don't think the Dodgers would do that. Maybe it's one of the, Josue DePaula types. It's going to take a lot to get Robert Jr. He's a good deal, especially if you can get him for 100 games plus October. Let's see. Yeah, you need to. Yeah, no one wants a CT3 contract. Dodgers are going to be paying for that one if they do that, and not against that. I'm not advocating for it, but I'm definitely not against it. Yeah, Altman needs to regain some of his value to be able to Dodgers trade him. Yeah, yep. Dodgers front office really do know what they're doing. Dodgers are elite. Lux. So one of the things, I mean, it's been pointed out with Lux moving on. He's a second baseman. So that's flexibility gone, and the Dodgers want to remain flexible, and that's where Hae-Sung Kim is going to have to show that he can play shortstop, and he's going to need to show that he can play some outfield. He's fast. Lux used to be fast. He's not as fast as he used to be, but it looks like he did gain some speed at the end. But Luxie's gone. Hey, his last plate appearance as a Dodger, he hit the game-tying RBI. Really happy for that. I'm just, hey, he's got 2 rings. One of them, he wasn't on the roster. One of them he was. So he did fine. We'll see what happens to him in Cincinnati, but he's a Red now, so this will probably be the last time we talk about Gavin Lux on the show. No offense to him. Craig Osterberg what happens to Grove, Taylor, etc. There's always that constant thing. Oh my gosh, we need 40-man roster spots. Well, there's 2 right there. Just straight up honest with you. I know that someone brought up, well, someone said we should get Kiké mid-season and save the 40-man roster spots. Like, really? No. I'm assuming Kiké Hernandez is going to sign with someone like the Yankees or the Padres or the Giants or Diamondbacks. He's going to be on a team that's going to hurt us. Just sign him back now. Just take care of that. We need him in October. And there are plenty of players that are on the 40-man that are less players than Kiké Hernandez. At least you can at least do it on one hand. At least, probably more. So I'm not worried about those. Tim didn't put Muncy. I don't have a batting order here, bro. Roy. Right now, I still have him in the 5th spot. Don't judge. You're judging him by the World Series, Roy. He fits right in behind Teoscar a lot. Now, other guys have to earn it behind him. But Smith, I like him 6th. I'd like to see Conforto on it. Conforto. I'm going to keep saying it, aren't I? Conforto. Incline. My gut had Pages being a starter. To think today starts that journey. That could be. I, if we get Pages in center, and we can get Edmund at short, and Betts at second, I think that's the best overall thing. I'm not a fan of Pages in center. Maybe he can improve. I think he would. Um, but I have nothing against Mookie Betts as a shortstop. Amongst a lot of people do. I don't. I think given full spring training and everything, I think he can get better. But I think he wears out. That's the biggest thing, is him wearing out. We need Mookie Betts in October. We saw what he could do in October. Yep, Dodgers lineup is a Seager type lineup, and Lux isn't Seager type. Yeah, he's not. And so you can't take up that spot. Remember, the bench is low. You have 4 people, really only 3 guys on the bench. You have a catcher, so that takes 1 spot away. 3 left. You have to have that versatility. Arenado. Arenado would be the trade. So they don't need to sign Arenado. They have to trade for him, and the Dodgers would have to work out some things with the money. They're not going to take his full contract, and I'm not sold on Arenado. I'm just leaving it out there. We know that Arenado wants to be here. We've heard that the Dodgers have interest, but do they really? Is it really worth bringing in a guy that maybe he does bounce back, but is it worth putting Muncy at second? Oh boy. Mr. John Rod says Ginger. So thanks, Ginger X. Mr. John Rod 77 says, Tim, did you see where the Reds were talking about playing Lux at third of the outfield? I think he could actually play the outfield. It's because people judge him by this, that, and the other. He had hardly any time at any of those positions in the minors. Very little. So could Gavin Lux play the outfield? Yes. Is it something that we go and wait for the Dodgers? No, not with the options that are out there. That's for sure. Let's see. Roy, Tim, no World Series. All season long, he struck out and left wrist. Batting average below 200. Low 200. I know. Remember, he was injured for 3 months. So, and hey, I'm all in on. I would like Kiké to platoon with him, to be honest with you. Give him some rest. And he is getting older. He's going to start breaking down. For me, the batting order doesn't matter that much. What it'll matter at the end of the season, and whoever's performing is going to perform. You notice that Will Smith got dropped down a lot. One game he batted 8th, and he earned it. Some of it was wearing out. So I'm not worried about the batting order right now. I know what our top 4 are. The rest they can all battle. But right now, I still got Muncy there. And these other guys have to beat him out. And let's hope he's not regressing. I don't think he is. The dude was really good in the NLCS. World Series obviously fell apart with that. Last couple at bats looked good though. I thought he was gonna start coming around. That's just an opinion though. He's always been he's a weapon. He's a weapon. Let's see. Incline. I think Kiké is the only position player they had. I think that's true too. It's going to be, well, and we've seen it. I think all in our heads, a lot of us are going Kiké, Roki, and Tanner Scott. And I think that's real. I think that's a real possibility. Oh, but what about the 40-man roster? Go look at the roster. Find 3 guys less than that, and you can move them. The Dodgers just open up a spot. There's one. Roki doesn't have to be on the roster. So to get those other two, you just need one more roster spot. We're going to be fine. Yeah, save room for Rushing and Freeland. Yeah, I think they both debut in 2025. They're not going to start the season there, but I definitely see them debuting. I think, if everything's normal, Rushing debuts first, but you never know with injuries. Yeah, Smith hopefully bounces back. Part of it's just being a catcher, and I'm going to give Will a lot more credit these days. I mean, um, 2020 World Series, that dude could not. I wrote the article for Dodgers Nation back then after Game 4 that Austin Barnes has to catch the rest of the World Series. That was the right call. Now it's like got to give Will Smith some credit for how he worked with that pitching staff. No, there is no way Rushing makes this opening day roster unless there's a ton of injuries. It's already too full. But yeah, Will Smith has become a much better catcher. It'll be interesting to see if Austin Barnes, how much they still think they're carrying him for 10 years. They're going to give him the 10-year spot, so that's a year and a half. Barnes, they didn't even really use him in the World Series. They didn't use him at all, and they used him very little in the playoffs. I think caught a couple innings, had one at bat, something like that. He's a guy that can do some things, but he's there as a player coach. I just wonder how much they're going to use Rushing in the outfield at the beginning of the season. Brandon Gomes says that they see him as the catcher, and that's where his most value is. And if that's the case, we might as well trade him. Same time, Brandon Gomes 2 days ago said that Gavin Lux is the second baseman. So it's as of today. That's why there's spring training. That's why there's competition. That's why you got to play. No name. How do you feel about Will Smith's contract? Oh, I think it's great. It's a low contract. They could have signed him for a much shorter deal for a lot more dollars. It's just the way the Dodgers do stuff. There's deferrals in it. They lengthened it out. His AAV's fine. It's not going to age well, but you try to get all your value that you can out of him in the next 5 years. Hopefully Rushing starts getting a chance and integrating in. Plus also, Freddie's got 3 years left on his contract. I still wish that they would play Rushing at third, at least try it. It's probably too late now. I wish. Oh, what am I doing? I'm still on that page. Sorry. You guys can hopefully see the chat. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm good with this contract. I would rather. It's tough to get good catchers. Yeah, Mr. John Ryan. Gomes meant Lux was a starting second baseman, not necessarily our starting second baseman. Put Barnes on 60-day IL and give Rushing a chance. Rushing at bat is available. That's a good call. I'm not gonna lie. I know there's maybe a little bit of jest in that. Again, you're welcome for the whiteness. Very, very white. Coming soon. But that's possible. If it's any type of a long-term injury that Lux, sorry, but the Barnesy gets, of course, then I think that is a really good call. Yeah, you put him on, he would go in the IL, and Rushing comes up. If it's a short stint, then that means it would be Fiducia. But we know who it won't be. It will not be Diego Cartaya. Still surprised he wasn't included in the trade. Hopefully there's something else going on. One of the things, and I'm still not positive about what's going on, but it sounds like the Dodgers cannot trade for international money until the 15th. I'm not positive about that, but that might be the case. Maybe they can get, I don't know what they're going to get for Cartaya. I was just hoping it was part of a throw-in. Maybe maybe traded for a wild card. I don't know. I hate to get nothing for them, but Yeah, the Dodgers knew what they were doing with that. You know, they knew that that is a possibility that he might not get them anything, which I despise. It's like, oh gosh, you guys. I mean, a lot of us. I mean, you know, I go back to, um, and I think I'm even more on this. You know, you all know I love the prospects, and I want the prospects to prosper. But if they have to prosper with another team, that's okay too. Because for me and the prospects and the way I look at the prospects, it's not about um it's not necessarily about their career in the Dodgers and what's best for the Dodgers when I look at them because it's a little more personal for me. It really comes down to what is best for them. Where are they going to get a chance to make their money? And it might not be at the Dodgers. We see how the Dodgers clog it up. They better do something with rushing. You know, yeah, man, if Rushing and Freeland work out, they were both from the same draft, 2022. It'd be awesome. But it was mentioned that there's only 3 players left from the awesome 2016 draft now: Will Smith, Dustin May, and Tony Gonsolin. If you go, I wrote an article a long time ago for DN. I might even have one on my current site about the 2016 draft. It was a great draft. Really was. A lot of players. Now, a lot of guys are gone. And some guys were traded. You know, you get value for those guys. I mean, I think we got value. I mean, the guy they got is a Sirota. Is that it? Oh man, looks like Casey's on. Dang it. You know, it looks like Sirota or whatever might be a good one. He was tagged to be a first round draft choice. It didn't work out. He had a bad season. But now the Dodgers have him. Heck, get to see him at Rancho. He had played 3 years of college ball, so we'll see him at Rancho. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, you don't know what we're going to do with that other pick. It might be used to get Roki Sasaki. Speaking of Roki Sasaki, what the heck is going on with the Padre ownership? I'm going to say this right now. If Roki Sasaki picks the Padres, just no respect. That means he really is just too much of a Darvish fanboy. That would be insane. That would be absolutely insane. That should not be an option for him anymore. That's a disaster. And I'm just gonna say this. Whatever's in the trust, you challenge the trust, you get to lose. That's why we have trusts. And by the way, get a trust. If you have, even if you're not married or have kids, or get a trust. It just makes it easy. I got to go update mine. But goodness gracious, man, she's gonna lose. What's her name? Sheil? She's gonna lose. But so that just makes things a mess. And it was mentioned. She even mentioned him in there. Mentioned Roki in the thing. Oh, I can help get him. No, come on. What are you, Joy Taylor? Come on. Bump. Let's see. Do minor league coaches get promoted to the Dodgers? Yes, they do. It takes a while because they don't have too much movement. And the guy they got back was Woodward, who was with them. He was in their minor leagues last year, but Petey Montero was a coach with Rancho in 2018. He's in charge of all the video stuff there. So it's not just the on the field coaches. They have a lot of other coaches that come through. Twins and O's need a future catcher. They'll sign Cartaya, I bet. Or the trade for him, right? By the way, good to see you, Alfonso Lucio. Luis Castillo could be a Dodger. What do you get? So what do we give up for Luis Castillo? Because I know allegedly, the Mariners wanted a second baseman. It would take a lot more, obviously, than it would have taken a lot more than Lux to get Castillo. He's still got 3 more years on his 3 more years, I believe. Roy asks, "What are you expecting from May and Gonsolin? You're close to the scene." Oh, right now I'm not close to the scene. That'll happen again on FanFest, hopefully. But I expect Gonsolin to be one of their 6 starters. May, they could start him, of course, but I really like him in the bullpen, and I think his mechanics. I mean, he's had 2 now, 2 TJs, and I don't think the mechanics have changed. And the mechanics are part of what makes him nasty. It brings all that extra movement. So, yeah, they mentioned him in the lawsuit. It's crazy. No clue from No Name. No clue why he would pick the Padres. He will not be contending anymore for years to come. I think this lawsuit's going to be dismissed pretty quick, but not before Roki. This one will go pretty quick, though. It'll go back to the brother, or it'll be the brother. So, again, at the end of the day, it's a trust. The trust said certain things, and she ain't it. She's not the one supposed to be in charge. She's an owner, but she's not supposed to be in charge. So, good thing I'm not a lawyer. My wife does work in law. She's not a lawyer, but she's very familiar with it. She's just like, don't challenge a trust. She will lose. So just remember that. There is no Roki lawsuit. There is a Padres lawsuit between Peter Seidler's wife and the brothers. And the brothers were the ones in the trust that were anointed as the dudes. So as that trust wills out, that's what's happening. And she's going, no. To me, it sounds like the best we could hope, the best for us would be that she gets it, because she just seems like an idiot. You just don't. You're not going to win this one. So we want idiots. I mean, that's why we love AJ Preller. He's a savant, but he's a weirdo too, and he does dumb things. Still waiting for the Padres to make a move. I hope they keep Arias, because I'm not a fan. I just don't think he's good. Let's see. It is, yeah, Roy. It is a power struggle. I didn't know. Yeah, obviously they weren't getting along. And you know what? When it comes to money and power, let's be honest, folks. Now, most of us have no idea what that means in terms of personal use. Wouldn't it? I mean, I'd like to have some money and power, or at least money. I don't care about the power. The only power I'd like to be working with Andrew Friedman. That would be cool. But they're just gonna fight. And it's good. It's only good for us. Now, I think it's tragic when families fighting like that. I think it's absolutely tragic. Nothing like inheritance to bring out the best in the family. I know. It's always, yeah. How many times, right? No Name says Darvish is on his way out. No, he's getting older, right? He's going to break again, too. He's due for another Tommy John, probably, regretfully. Machado is older, and he's older than his age. His body's breaking down. And Tatis, well, you say he's into Roy. He's getting tested now. He's an idiot. He's more concerned about making faces, Dodger fans, than producing. And they have the 20th ranked farm. It'll get back up because Preller's really good at that. I'd love for the Dodgers to have AJ Preller as one in their front office, but not running the show. That's the problem. Let him go he spots that international talent. You look at Dodgers have not had a lot of success recently with their international talent, while the Padres keep getting these guys coming in, coming out. Now, of course, the Padres, they just trade their guys. See, is there a hitting coach you would promote? Oh, I love some of these hitting coaches. So, Blake Galen was the hitting coach last year. Oh, they lost one though, man. Okoye. You guys remember Okoye for the Dodgers? He bailed. He's not bailed. He's just gonna stay up home. Um, I liked him. Okoye Dixon, good dude, but he's out. He just left. He's gonna go do other stuff. So Blake Galen's a really good one. They have a lot of guys that come through there. Oh, Nakashita, is that his name? My brain is just fried right now. Hit that like button, please. Weirdos like Skip Bayless. 1.5 million, and she still wouldn't do it. Oh, so Potter's relevant 20, really 2020, 2022, and 2024. 2021 was a huge disappointment. That cost the great, what was that guy's name? I can't remember their manager's name anymore. He was such a stupid pick. And then they got Melvin fired in 2023. So they're an every other year team. They're a weird team. That's a weird team. Skip Bayless should be their head coach or their manager. Yeah, please hit the like button. Yeah, they're just they lack real leadership. I mean, I know leadership. I work at work my work. I work with great leaders. I have some great ones. I mean, I'm in leadership. I'm not like that. They're not. No, it was Tingler. Trace Tingler, Ting Ding, whatever he was. Let's see. All right, crowd. Your favorite Dodger team ever is? What you guys got? For me, it's probably 1981 because that was my first time to see my guys win the World Series, and that was a team that I started liking, loving, adoring the Dodgers in 1973, and that's when that infield started. So to see that team, and also Dusty Baker. I know Reggie Smith couldn't hit anymore. He couldn't field. He could still hit. He was on that team. We got Pedro Guerrero. We had all sorts of good pitching. Um, yeah. Padres should move to Vegas. Oh no, I hope not. I want the Padres to stay here. I mean, it's a little selfish of me, but this this town supports the Padres. There's no reason for them to move. They have one of the best ballparks out there. Um, that would just be wrong. It- you know, I gotta give it to these San Diego fans. They wear the ugliest gear. I mean, the Padres have the ugliest uniforms. They're the ugliest, and their City Connects are just disgusting. It's freaking Spumoni ice cream, Miami Vice uniforms. They're hideous. You have nothing to do with San Diego. It looks more like a bad Miami thing, a bad Miami Vice thing. So, man, they buy all that junk. There's a lot of a lot of tattoo stuff. There's a lot of hats and jerseys out. Even now, I still see a lot. They're even though they got beat. Um, of course, I'm always wearing Dodger gear almost when I'm out, so I always get to smirk at them. Um, let's see who do we got. No names. Okay, well, here we go. Uh, wait. I'm shocked the Padres haven't re-signed Profar. They don't have any money. They're not. Yeah, it'll happen. They got to make some trades first. Okay, Mr. John Rod has 1988. Craig Osterberg 1963. Yeah, they swept the Yankees 4-0. We almost swept them. 17 Dodgers. Yeah, that was a great team. Then that would have been one of my top teams too if they would have won that after all that. And Astros, you guys suck. Roy Estrada has got 81, 88, 2024. I like you got 2024 showed a lot of guts. I'm surprised I liked him as much as I did, but that's what winning does. I'm only 26, so it would be understandable. I should say 24. That 17 team was special. I really liked it. I got to be honest, I love the 2020 team. Um, because, well, first of all, they won, and I know what it was, but they came off. Just remember, before 2020 and all the pandemic stuff, they found out that the Astros cheated. I was at FanFest. Remember, a lot of you probably were there. And they were pissed. They were pissed the whole time. They were just pissed. And it was also a time when we knew they were going to lose some guys. Like Jock and Kiké were two of the top, but also some other guys. Alex Wood, even Pedro Baez, I know, blah, blah, blah. And a few others. And then Seager after that. And it just, that team was, that World Series team, it was a 28-man roster. And 14 of them were Dodger guys. So I really like that team a lot. This team I really enjoy, but it's not as many Dodgers. Yeah, I'm with you, Sammy. 1984, they had a lot of good guys. All homegrown in youth. Fun time, not very successful. Just imagine if they would have kept Pedro Martinez. Yeah, they had a base there, and they just couldn't figure that out. Yeah, everybody hates on 2020 because their team didn't win. Yeah, most of the people that piss on that are, you can go look in their timelines if they didn't delete it. They were rooting for their guys to win. So they're just a bunch of hypocrites. There's very few people that I remember. I got like two of them in my head right now that were our Dodger fans, and they were like, no, 2020 doesn't count. And they were that way in the beginning. I declared it. I've got a tweet somewhere in June or July of 2020 that says, I'm in on this season. I'm in on it. That, this counts for me. And it counts. Like it or not. No, it really don't care. The scoreboard says what it does. Everyone had the same opportunities. The Dodgers were 43-17 that year and were dominant. Braves almost took them out. You think Braves fans that were all upset, now they go, oh, it doesn't count. No, it counted. So the Dodgers have won 2 of the last 5 World Series. Now it's time to win more. It's time for the Dodgers to just keep the organization, to keep pounding on these things. This is about legacy now. This is about putting guys in the Hall of Fame. You want to get in the Hall of Fame, especially if you're an executive? Stan Kasten needs to be in the Hall of Fame, by the way, now. But people like Janet Marie Smith, of course, Andrew Friedman and Dave Roberts. Janet Marie Smith is, designed. She's the queen of stadium design. She inspired so many with what she did in Baltimore. She inspired what happened in San Diego with their ballpark. If you haven't been in San Diego ballpark, it's a beautiful ballpark. It's 20 years old now. It's unbelievable. Over 20. It's a beautiful ballpark, and inspired things like Pittsburgh and a lot of other changes. And a lot of the good changes that have made in the Dodger Stadium are with Janet Marie Smith. So amazing things that she has done. Let me see. What else we got on my list? Okay. Anyone think Arenado is a possibility? I just see that going down, down, and down, but there might be a twinkle in someone's eye. His name could be Andrew Friedman. But hey, like somehow if they get that, what's his name? The Helsley guy? Helsley? We get that guy, we're in, right? Let's do that. So hopefully that, if that happens, again, it's one of those things you trust what they're doing. They'll do a good job. Let's see what else we got up here. Mookie to second base. We talked about that briefly on the chart. I like that idea the best. Yeah, Mr. Johnner, I agree with that. I think it's a possibility, but I don't think it makes us better. Yeah, I think it takes the infield defense down, even though he's still a good third baseman, but putting Muncy at second, oof. 2020, yeah, and it keeps Mookie at short. I still think the best team right now, given the players that they have, is kind of what Kevin said earlier, is you at a minimum, Pages is out there, maybe a platoon. I agree, Roy. It has to be huge like that. Huge contract. Yeah, Roy says Arenado is not a possibility unless Cardinals eat 75% of contract. And include that relief, Ryan Heisley, whatever his name is. 2020, Roy says 2020 swept the Padres, which was awesome. Came down 1-3 to beat Braves and beat a pretty good Rays team. Go back and look at that roster. I love that roster. Just one of my favorite rosters. Yeah, if it was Arenado from even 2 years back, then yes, but Muncy at second. Yeah, it is that, right? I just got to keep it out there. I just got to keep that out there. Because, all of a sudden we're going to see it. MP says, well, Friedman did want to trade for Arenado last year, but didn't want to give up Miller. And look what happened. He forgot how to pitch. Well, let's hope he remembers because there's a lot there. Yeah, the Rays were stacked. In fact, we got two of their top two pitchers, don't we? Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell. Those guys are legitimately good pitchers. That's for sure. And they were really good then. I mean, we saw what Blake Snell did to the Dodgers. Jeez. Man. Yeah, that was a good team. I mean, Brandy Arozarena single-handedly was trying to win that thing. Thank goodness, how was that guy's name? Dylan Floro came in and struck him out in the second inning on 3 amazing changeups. Just so good. Let's see. Anything else going on? Let's see what else. I'm going to look at those topics. Uno mas. Okay, Tanner Scott. Why not? Let's look at Canva again. I want to look at the relievers. Where we're don't do that. Gosh, I hate starting lineup bullpen. Let's see how that looks. Okay. I haven't updated this. I don't think there's been any changes. Let's go to it. Let's see if it's still okay. Look. I look at our right-handers right now. Evan Phillips, Blake Trinan, Michael Kopech, Ryan Brazier. And lefties, we got Alex Vesey and Anthony Banda. So that's 6 of the 8 spots right there. And then we go, how about Dustin May? How about Ben Kasparias, Nick Frasso? Brusdar and Emmett coming later. How about Edgardo Enriquez? Maybe Michael Grove? I don't know. I like Michael's a good dude. But I expect him to be moved. I do. So there's a lot of free agents out there. My top one, of course, well, like everybody's top one is Tanner Scott. We all want Tanner Scott. Does anyone not want Tanner Scott? Say it right. Say, if you don't want Tanner Scott, say, I don't want Tanner Scott. My second choice, and the rest of these are not in order. My second choice is actually Kirby Yates on a 1-year deal. But then, if we get Jeff Hoffman, Carlos Estevez, those would be great. Paul Sewald's that guy. He said, hey, I want to be on the Dodgers, basically. He should be a Dodger. Sign a minor league contract. Become our Daniel Hudson. Sewald would be a good one. I mean, he didn't end well with the D-bags, but he's a good one. And then I got Kenley in there. Sorry. I know. Whenever his last year is, who knows? Who knows, right? Let's go back to the chat. So that's where I'm at with that bullpen. I think it looks pretty good. Adames, yeah, he was on the team. He was kind of a little dirty player in that World Series, if you remember. Anything's possible. Arenado is always a possibility until it gets traded elsewhere. Yeah, let's not forget all those saying Lux is our second base. Yeah, exactly. Okay, MP says CT3 out when Grove Miller need to go. I am not giving up on Bobby Miller. No way. I'm not trading. I think of those people, Miller has the chance to be the most productive. But you can see, just on the rosters, we don't have to worry about 40-man. Kersh will be back too. They'll be having like 5 guys go on the 60-day IL once spring training starts, which is in a little more than a month. Tim, you would have to put Kenley on the list. I know. I just put it in. I just had to do it. Sammy Boy says Brewers will sign Jansen. Yeah. No Name says bring that man in. I'm assuming Tanner Scott. It ain't my money. Darn out. Bring out the Brinks truck. MP says I want Tanner Scott, but not for $80 million. Oh, you're on the wrong channel. It's not my money. Wouldn't want them to spend so much, then get us injured, not as great, and then you're stuck with them for. I know that's a legit. That's legit. I agree. But yeah, Miller stuff is too good. He's got to get some on that fastball. His fastball can't be just meat. That's what it's been. Just there it is. He's got to fix that. Let's see. And Wilmar Edwards. Let's see. Miller's beyond arrogant. I don't know if he's arrogant. I think he just. I've talked to him a few times. I actually was surprised. I liked him. He was very. He didn't come off as arrogant at all to me. And from what I've seen, I just don't. He didn't want to admit it. It's tough to admit. He's just keeping a positive attitude where he has to. Man, when things go south with him, first sign of panic or problems, an air behind him or something stupid happens, you got to get out there and talk to him. It's just the way he is. He has to grow up. He has to grow up on this. He has to get better at that. I think he will. I think it's a matter of time. So I'm not giving up on him. Let's see. Just injuries and confidence issues last year. Confidence, it just really goes down the toilet. So I think he's trying to put on that facade or whatever, go, hey, I'm good. But he wasn't good. Ms. Johnner says, hoping the longer this goes on Scott, he may accept a shorter-term deal. I don't know, man. I got a feeling that it sounds like everyone's all in on the $80 million. I think he's going to get it. Now that all of a sudden the Dodgers are getting him for 3 years and $45 million. We'll see. I hope you're right, but I don't think. Regretfully, I think the Dodgers, if they want him, it's going to be $480 at least. Roy asks, do you really think Miller knows how to pitch and not just throw? That's a good question. Kershaw coming off 2 surgeries would be difficult to be ready for regular season. Yeah, Kersh won't be. No, I'm not counting on him at all. I think so they're going to put some guys on the 60-day IL. Kersh is going to sign. And then he's going to go on the 60-day IL. That's probably what's going to happen. Let's see. Brian G. Hey, yeah, great show. I love the late night shows. Yeah, that's usually my best shot at getting some thoughts, even though I got the lockdown guys coming on in a minute. I'll probably start losing guys, but that's all right. It is what it is. Is Smith someone we can trust to calm a pitcher down like Bobby if needed? I don't care who it is, but you got to get that mound visit. You got to calm him down. Mookie would do it. And like Bueller, he was really bad, and he would come out and say, I sucked. Yeah, but that's just Bueller. Bueller's different. Bueller is Bueller. But Bueller, I think, it was just doing well, just good hit. I don't think it was that bad. I am still shocked about the Tim Anderson fall off for some reason. I don't know. People start reading their own press sometimes. And, maybe that's Bobby too, right? They go, oh, look how good I am. Or who knows? It gets in your head, and all of a sudden now you're locked out instead of locked in. Yeah, I don't think it's Smith's. It's not Smith's job. That's Pryor's job. But it's Dave's job to let him go out. They have to. That's a pure 100% team management decision to not use those mound visits. Remember, if Smith goes out, it's a mound visit. Smith doesn't go out without asking. Let's see. Jim, you have found your niche. The shades are cool. Dodger man and mystery. I just like to hide my beady eyes. That's all. It's a little vanity. That's all. They're bifocals, so sunglasses up here. So straight I see really well, then down lower for the reading. So if you see me going like that, it's because I'm trying to read something that's low. Yeah, there's I ain't so cool. That's I'm as the great Devo sang, we're through being cool. Um, let's see. Oh, ooh, ooh, it's your boy. I'll read it. So this is your boy saying it. I didn't know about this stuff. Tim Anderson allowed himself to get in some crazy life situations. Some yucky. Ooh, y'all can read that for yourself. I'll keep it clean, but yeah, if those are the cases, that's stupid. Yeah, I don't have progressives. It's actual bifocals. I tried the progressives. I couldn't do it. Just didn't work for me. So it's pure bifocals, the old school. Um, it's better to get something for Miller before you end up DFAing like they did with Cartaya. I still got Miller as a possibility in the rotation, though. I mean, I don't think you could just give him. I don't know what you get for him. Now, if it's a chance to go, hey, we can get international free agency money or another one of these comp picks, okay, I'm in. But if it's for, I don't know, a wild card, I'm not willing to do that yet. And hopefully we still get something for Diego. I mean, God, I got this picture a couple spring trainings ago. I got so lucky. So I see Bobby Miller was out in the bullpen area warming up, or he was just doing some work, and I just missed it. So I wanted to get Bobby, pitching so I need material, right? I need the content. Missed it. And Diego was over there just putting his gear away. And hey, Diego. And he comes over and says hi and all that. We start chatting just briefly. And then Bobby Miller comes by. And, hey, first time I met him. And then I asked, hey, can I get a picture? I got these pictures. And at the time, they were top 2 prospects on the Dodger organization. So, yeah. Ooh, Jose Ramirez. The knock. He's such arrogance, man. He got clocked. That was hilarious. Thank you so much, No Name, for the super chat. I gotta see how that shows up in my restream stuff. If it actually shows up as a super chat properly. Let's see. View the stream. Make sure I'm not playing anything. The chat. Oh, come on. Can't see if it's how it super chats up. But no, thank you, No Name. Appreciate it, my man or woman. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate it. Gotta get this channel some bucks. Tim, what's the latest on Karros' son? Is there a chance he's with the big club? There we go. Oh, there we go. In September. Good question. So he's made a lot of good progress. He has. Really happy to see what he's done. So the thing is with him, he's 6'7". That's a lot. Oh, alpha male. Okay, gotcha. I figured. It's to get a 6'7" body in sync, it takes a while. But he's getting there. He is. He is absolutely getting there. And it's good to see. Because isn't that cool? I mean, Eric Karros, big time Dodger guy, of course. And to see his son do well, I think it's so wonderful. I really do. Let me see something here. Oh, okay. Okay, I can see where it says it right in there. So to see him do well, it's cool. Let me look, Jared. You got to say it right. It's not Jared Karros. You got to say it like Ross Porter. Jared Karros. Jared Karros. He used to say Eric Karros. All right, so JK Jared Karras had quite a year. Now he had some time off, a little bit of injuries here and there, but he had a lot of time on the development list. Also, maybe they're just working. Probably saving his arm a bit. He had a lot of injuries in college, but overall, he was 15 games with 67 innings, 51 hits, um, 22 walks, 74 strikeouts, 211 batting average. The whip was 108. Nice. Double A was a little worse, but he still had 33.2 innings, 30 hits, 15 walks. That's a little high, but 38 strikeouts. Not too bad. The walks were a little high there. But there's progress. And so, a really good guy. He is tall. Yeah, 6'7". He's pretty thin. So he's still growing up. He's 24 years old, just turned 24. And that might be a real steal in that draft. He was in the 16th round. Let's see. We're talking about Outman over here. Dan. Sign Lance Lynn to a non-guarantee. We do need a Brett Honeywell replacement to throw our slumping hitters. Yeah, I think Honeywell is still coming back. He'll be signed as a free agent. Have I seen Outman in person? Oh, dude, is a beast. Yeah, I've been in the locker room with him. Pause. James is built like a football player. And he is a football player. Dude was a linebacker in high school. He was an animal. There's some highlights of him out there playing foosball. He was an animal. And yeah, dude's a beast. And yeah, so James and I are on good terms. I mean, he was one of the first people. Well, if you ask him who's the first person interviewed, it's me. It was an email thing, but I'm his beast, but swing like a caveman and misses. So he's got to make those adjustments. And that was part of it. His swing is baseball's not the most natural sport for him. So there's an extra layer there that he has to work through. Now he's a smart dude. He's a hard worker. He's not that bad. Let's hope he comes back. Speaking of Ross Porter, why haven't the Dodgers ever honored him? Ross is so unique, grew up listening to him. Yeah, that's disgusting, isn't it? It really is. They really should do something for him. They really should. That sucks. It really sucks what they did. It's the previous guys. I don't know what Ross Porter did to these people, but other than be a great announcer. I liked Ross Porter a lot. I thought he brought a lot of information to the game. I really like that. Just FYI, I have another 1988 model of the Oral Hershiser Coogee sweater coming in the mail. I will be the proud owner of 3 of them. Would have been 4, but I gave one to Joseph Davis. So he has it. Yeah. Lance Lynn supposedly lost weight. We should bring him back. Just don't pitch him against the douchebags. Okay, douchebags. I like it. D-bags, douchebags, whatever. I like it. They're the same thing, right? Glad Gavin is gone, Mr. B. Just B. You don't like the injuries? Yeah, well, it's okay. Yeah, Jerry Doggett. Love Jerry Doggett too. Yeah. I mean, Don Drysdale was the one that replaced Jerry Doggett, right? Yeah. Jerry Doggett was great. Why don't we hire Ichiro as our hitting coach? Bet he can fix Outman, and his Japanese is helpful for Otani, Yoshi, and Roki. I don't know. I wonder I think he's too busy, like, striking out high school kids. Throwing 86 miles an hour as a 50-year-old against high school girls or something like that. He likes striking them out, making them look silly. I don't know. That's just Ichiro. different bird. He's a slap guy, right? Normally, a little concerned. Scott is just sitting there and no report interest by the Dodgers. Oh, it's been reported. If Arizona or Philly gets him, that will be a problem. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani will not be pleased. Shohei should be going, hey, guess what? I deferred money for these types of situations. You need to keep Tanner Scott away from me. Please keep him way away from me. For sure. Let's see. Yeah. So I agree. We really need to get Tanner Scott. It's time for Vince Scully statue. I mean they got the name, which is good. Now he's passed. Gosh, I'm trying to keep this thing and it keeps moving on me. There we go. So it was I liked honoring the players more. I liked the player statues more. I'd like them to be building. I would like them to get 5 new statues. Just go if you're gonna do Vin and Tommy, then also you might as well start on the Kershaw one, right? You got Don Drysdale. That's one. You could have Don Sutton. You know, I remember first time I went outside of Busch Stadium. It was the old Busch Stadium in 2004. I think it was the old one at the time. It was for work related. And I walked down there. It was just a line of statues. All their Hall of Famers. And even a few that aren't Hall of Famers. Just a whole line of them. Why not? You should have statues all over that ballpark of your greats. And some of them don't even have to be Hall of Famers. Why not a statue, Steve Garvey? How about a Kirk Gibson statue of that? Or a double statue, Kirk Gibson and Freddie. Things like that. Joe Davis is the new guy. I think Joe's great. I really do. Does his homework, bottom line. We'll see what we get in Kim because from what I heard, his offense is not that good. Don't we already have that in both Outman and CT3? So all we are is good. He's good for defense. All are good just for defense. So with Kim, he profiles differently than those guys because he's a singles hitter. And actually, he hits, I think it was 60% ground balls. He's fast. He's not going to be a lot of power, but they're going to probably try to get him to try to lift a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see. I think he could be okay, but I'm not counting on him being the starter. I really am not. I'm just not. Ross was born the same day as Vinny, November 29. Pretty darn good. Tim, who is your favorite Dodger growing up? My first 2 Dodgers were it was Andy Messersmith and Claude Osteen. Andy Messersmith because he went to the same high school with my parents for a couple of years. Claude Osteen because he was a neighbor of my aunt and uncle. And then became Steve Garvey, then into Reggie Smith, and then Fernando, and then it hasn't changed. But I was 8 years old in 73 when I started watching baseball and became a Dodger fan. Let's see. Dodgers almost acquired Aroldis Chapman, fun fact, years ago. I know. Jeez. Yeah, I remember that. So, okay, let's talk about that. Aroldis Chapman trade. I was on work travel for that. And I see the text pop up on my phone. No way. Yeah. We got the greatest bullpen with Kenley Jansen and Aroldis Chapman. This is the greatest thing you're ever going to see. And then, you know what? An hour later, it ain't happening. Like, so pissed off. And then after that, we lost Greinke too. Now, with losing Greinke, we got Will Smith. Okay. Still, we might have another World Series championship if we kept Mr. Greg Zenke. What do we got? Kim is great defensively and offensively. He's a contact hitter. lacks power but athletic, and it's going to be a while. So I'm not going to rush my expectations on him. Don't be surprised if he starts out really bad. Don't be surprised if he's sent to the minors. It might take a whole year and a half for him to start hitting. It's a different game. But they like his talent. I'm not going to put it past the Dodgers. He's going to be a useful player pretty quick. MPO Tony says goals for himself. How about learning how to hit off of Scott? Sometimes the guy's got your number. I bet you he will say Sandy Koufax. Koufax was, I just never saw him. I wasn't alive, or I wasn't around. I was alive a little bit when he pitched, but I was a baby. But I always have loved Koufax. He's in that top echelon. It's amazing. Have you ever met Vince McMahon? I have not. No. Vin Scully? No, I didn't. I never met him. Let's see. Dan says Koufax. Yep. Why haven't the Dodgers put up Dazzy Vance and Zach Wheat up in their Hall of Fame names at the stadium? That's because no one knows who they are. But they should honor those dudes, those memories of those guys. Zach Wheat, I mean, look at his numbers, just freaking dominant. Hey, Aronetic, welcome back. Give me meet Freddie. Yeah, that's a statue right there. And you know what? I want the Dodgers to retire number 5. Right now. It's for Seager and for Freddie, and of course, Juan Uribe. Let's see. Roy Start, let's hope that he's exactly that and lives up to their expectations. I think so. Aeronautic, Lux is probably stuck to play for Francona. All the best to him. Yep, all the best to him. And I think also it's just good for him to move on. Our expectations were different for him. Cincinnati fans will have a different one. Hopefully hopefully it does well for them. What happened to Kyle Farmer? That guy was clutch. The Twins, right? Last I checked, he was like, no, he got moved. Rockies? But he's become more of an infielder. Hey, Mr. Classic. ¿Qué pasó? Normally, does Taylor have an immovable contract, or does he have incriminating photos of Friedman? It's a pretty tough contract to move. They gotta figure that out. But at the same time, this year they can release him if they need to. They can do that now. If he's not productive, they can release him. They like Taylor. Taylor's one of those core guys, and they like their core guys. But there's talent on this roster, and right now there is a free agent out there. There is a better player than him, and his name is Kiké Hernandez, and he's pretty cheap. So, Steve Garvey is your favorite, Brian. Nice. Yeah, love Steve Garvey. Mr. Class, y'all ready for Roki? Well, like I said earlier, if he goes with the Padres, shame on him. I just lose all respect for him. He goes to another team, doesn't bother me. He goes to the Padres, that just means he's just such a fanboy of Darvish. It will not go well for him in San Diego. My prediction, if he goes to San Diego, it'll be like Gavin Lux. He's not going to come close to living up to the expectation. You know what I mean? He would have not lived up to those expectations. He will not. They're going to expect him to be an ace right away. The Dodgers, I think we understand that he isn't going to be an ace. He's going to be a 5 or 6 in our rotation. Maybe even have to go to the minors. I'm okay with that. But he'll have to earn a spot. And he knows he needs to develop. He needs to develop more pitchers. So the Dodgers are really the best spot for him. It's not close, folks. Right? We for sure would have won in 17 with Greinke. Yeah. Greinke would have made those 2 starts instead of Darvish. Yeah. It would have been worth it. Ran Matendo 77. How many more World Series titles do you think the Dodgers won in the Ohtani era? I think they got 3 more in them. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say 3 in the next 6 years. Do you think Soto and the Mets will be able to make it to the World Series this decade? I think they'll get into 1 or 2 of them. But I don't know, man. Their pitching's kind of poo. It's not bad, but it's not great. That's for sure. So I don't know. I'll give them a shot at getting in. I mean, the Dodgers aren't going to get the World Series every year. They're going to run out of gas some of these times. If you look at the Giants. Sorry. 2010, 2012, 2014. The other playoff runs were either not there or short. So they were able to rest guys so that old snot rocket Bumgarner was ready to go. You got 2017. Let's see. Yeah, Juan Uribe home run against Braves in 2013. Yeah, thank goodness he couldn't bunt. Who's better, Prime Griffey or Prime Bonds? No Royce. Bonds is a better player. Better overall, but especially as a hitter. Now Griffey was a better fielder, obviously. Bonds is a better base stealer, a better, as much power, and also just a better average hitter too, higher average. Just a better overall hitter. These are good questions. Mr. Classic Padres are done. The lawsuit mentions Roki Sasaki. I know. Roki will be a Dodger. Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah, we talked a lot about that. Such a disaster. Mets not making World Series with Dodgers in the way. We'll get better every year. Yeah, but Dodgers they'll have a couple years where they're going to stumble. Should Bonds be in the Hall of Fame? I would have said no until they put the great enabler in the Hall of Fame. The great enabler was Bud Selig. If Bud Selig's in the Hall of Fame, put all the steroid guys, even Rafael Palmeiro, you put them all in. Put them all in. I predicted we make a run at Tucker. Stay away from Vladdy. Yeah, Vladdy. If he could play third base, boy. He needs to get in shape, stay in shape. Seems like he's in better shape. I don't know if they're gonna make a run at Tucker. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. Giving huge money. It seems like he doesn't have that extra factor the Dodgers want in their stars. There's something extra about our stars. Mookie is what? He's the coolest person like I've probably ever seen. Shohei Ohtani is he's one of the most recognizable athletes in the world. Freddie Freeman, there's a lot to that man. A lot extra. So I don't know. I don't see them going after Tucker. Not that I don't want him, but I don't see it happening. There's just something that I don't see there. Good evening, Dodger Blue 82. That's all right, man. We're here. Bonds cheating the game did not need to. It says more about his character. I know. Oh, Bonds is a jerk. Talk about issues with family. But I'm putting them all in just because of that. Say Dodgers win 2 more before 2030. I'll take that. If I get 2 more World Series before I'm gone out of this earth, that'd be great. Yeah. Bonds was a 3 times MVP before Royds along came. Yeah. He was a jerk though. There's no doubt. Going to be 5 years on the 26th since Kobe died with his daughter and their friends. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah. I remember what I was doing. I'm just not going to talk about it. Which is more likely, the Dodgers signing Arias or trading for Duran and Lewis of the Twins? Oh, there's no way they're signing or trading for Arias, so I'll go for the other one. Man. Yeah, they don't. I mean, Arias isn't a free agent until next year, I think. That's just such a weird. He's a weird player. Right? I mean, yeah, I like the bat on ball stuff a lot. but he can't play defense. Like someone flashed his second base numbers. He's got an out, and just in this last year, he had like, call it maybe played a fifth of the games at second base at the innings. And he had like a -7 outs above average. He's terrible. So he just doesn't fit. And he doesn't have enough pop for a first baseman. I guess if let's say like the Dodgers, let's say that you had prime Mookie at second, prime Seager at short, and prime Muncy at third, you can put Arias at first. But no team has that. Let's see. Tim, Garvey should be in the Hall of Fame. MLB doesn't like the guards politics. I don't think it's that. So if you look at his WAR, it's not as high. Like Ron Say has a better one. Ron Say was underrated. He was really good. Garvey though was really good, and it's really a bummer that he broke his thumb with pods. I mean, that ended his streak and all that. Who's the best shortstop right now in MLB? Mookie Betts. Let's see. Here we go, Mr. Classic. Not sure Mr. AJ Preller can do anything with ownership in a lawsuit. He can do some stuff, but they got to trade Dylan Cease first before if they want to do anything with money. I want him to sign Profar so bad. They should trade Michael King first because he's better than Cease was. Trade Michael King and re-sign my man, Jurickson Profar, because he just fits on that team. Big time. Brian, I agree with this. Well, first I'll get to that in a second. I kind of skipped here. I remember wiped out 100 attaboys, cheated in all other awards. Yeah. If I was Preller, I'd 1 out of San Diego. That dude's had a way longer run than he should have. I don't know if I'd put him in charge of it as a GM, but I'd really put him in charge of my international scouting, and I would listen to him for every flippin' free agent or international free agent. Yeah, Dave Parker should not be in there. It is absolutely. Yeah, he had 5 great seasons, and that was about it. Yeah, I agree. I agree about that. There's a lot. Luis Tiant, of all those players that were elected in, he had a better WAR than 2 of the 3 guys. It's a joke, man. These sports writers they go, I like the guy. I don't care. I don't think we will admit he's 5'2" before that happens. We just know that's the truth. Norman asks, who will improve the most this season in the minors? DePaula, Morales, Ferris, or Hope? I'm going to say DePaula. I'm going to say he takes a huge leap this year. I didn't get any Showtime LA in here, man. He'd love this question, too. I'm going to go. So Ferris took a huge jump. Hopes keeps coming. But I'm going to go with DePaula right now. Let's trade all of our Dodger dogs for Bartolo. Most overrated dude. Gosh, just because he was fat. It said the current Seidler brother ownership doesn't want to spend and wants to reduce payroll. Well, they're the ones that were named in the trust as the guys. So they are the guys in charge. They're gonna win that suit. She gonna lose because it's in the trust. She's going to lose. I'll do a big giveaway. I will do a big giveaway if she wins this suit. It'll be something $100 or over. Normally, we got a conspiracy theory. Don't have the tinfoil hat. Sorry. Jim Bowden is hyping Sasaki to the Yankees with Padres because Cashman and Preller may be on thin ice if they fall short this year, and he's angling to get back as a GM. Ooh. Remember this. I think I'm gonna pile on here. I think he's adding it to distract so it doesn't look like the Dodgers already have this in the bag. He's a Dodger fan. Bowden is a Dodger fan. Trust me. Yeah. Yeah, that's the widow of Peter Seidler is suing to take over to spend. Yeah, she can do that. But it's a business. I will not do a shoey. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. Jim Bowden also said Gavin Lux will be a Yankee. Oh, he also said Arenado will be a Dodger by Christmas of, was it 2022 or 2023? It's still 2020. It's now 2025. We don't have that. Sad the Padres are only real. Or Brian says, Brian G said, sad the Padres are our only real rivals, not the Giants. The Giants won't win another championship in a decade. Plus, the Giants don't have any bad dudes on their team. They're all bland. I think that's a Farhan thing. Farhan had all the money. He didn't find a way to spend it. Now, he didn't do stupid things like Preller. But, man, he should have signed Bryce Harper in 2018. That should have been done. He blew that. Absolutely blew that one. He should have had him. He would have loved to have stayed there. Been in Frisco, I guarantee it. Absolutely blew that. So we'll see what Posey does. Let's see if ownership lets him spend. That's a team that's got money. There's no reason for them to not be spending money. They should be doing what the Dodgers are doing. So don't sleep on the Diamondbacks. That's true. I'm not as big a fan of their starting pitching as a lot. I like their top two, even though I think Gallen, he might have really fried himself in the 2023 World Series playoffs and stuff. Can we move the Giants down here to Anaheim so they can be close like it was in Brooklyn and Queens? That'd be cool. I know. Nah, Bowden's not a Dodger here. He does that on purpose. I think so. I think he's playing a game there. I always see him at Dodger Stadium. Always. He's a nice guy too. Is there security at Dodger Stadium at night? Oh, definitely. Who has the worst ownership? Oh, Colorado or Oakland, Las Vegas? Well, I got to first go with Oakland, but Colorado's terrible. Norm, you remember when they were trading Arenado? And they didn't want to trade with the Dodgers. Dodgers could have given them a better haul. Instead, they made a terrible deal with the Cardinals. They got nothing back. It was, it got a couple decent guys at Gomber or whatever a guy's name. And they also paid him $50 million. Dodgers they could have done that. They could have done way better. But they didn't want to trade him with the Dodgers. And I fault Arenado. He had a no trade. He did not have to go to the Cardinals. He could have held out and said, you trade me to the Dodgers. He could have gotten what he wanted. Arenado had the chance again to back out of his contract, but instead he didn't want to do it. I don't fault the man for wanting to get his money, but if he really wanted to play for the Dodgers, hopefully too late. Never know. Roy Estrada says, yeah, the roving patrol for sure with everything at Dodger Stadium. Plenty of cameras and dogs, yeah. Brett Rooker 5-year extension with the A's. Oh, did they do that? Oh, I hope he didn't do that. That would be dumb. He did do it. Well, he's getting paid. Good for him. Good for him. I get 5 years, $60 million. Might as well get it. Get it while you can. Hopefully he can be traded. How can I get on the field in Dodger Stadium? Well, right now no one can get on the field except workers. FanFest was a great opportunity. I know on Sundays they sometimes have the kids run the base. You can still go down there and touch grass. They also will have some tours where you can. I know I did a tour once with my son. We got to play catch out there. Go to a concert. and get floor seats. Uh, my way, I get a media pass. That's how I get down there. So those are different ways. Let's see, Tim. What are your thoughts about the Dodgers moving the Quakes to Ontario? I'm gutted for the Quakes. I love those guys. They've been so good to me. But the Dodgers are making a huge move. My sources say this new place. Oh, thank you, Mr. White. Yeah, Friday Night Fireworks or drones, right? My sources say that these Ontario things. I think the Dodgers have a ownership stake in it. They're gonna have the state of the art everything. So Rancho, the weights and everything, they're out by the batting cage. It's not even enclosed. So it is what it is. I'm going to enjoy the ownership at the Quakes. I'm sure it's going to be a lot different when the Dodgers own it. Yeah. At least Oakland has a more promising roster of young players. That's true. Yeah, Colorado just barf. And is there any excuse for Colorado to be like that? I can see the pitching because who wants to pitch there? You should have hitters going bonkers there. But they haven't drafted well. You know, they just let Brendan Rodgers go. Sacramento's are after a great start. Yeah. The Sacramento, it might be there a little while longer too. Is Mike Soroka another Outman or something more? He's a different than Outman. Outman, you know, like as mentioned, caveman swing. Not a natural baseball player, but a great athlete. This guy's more of a. I think sounds like he's more of a baseball player. We'll see. He's gonna be a Rancho. I'll get to see him. He should be starting in the outfield for them this year. See who else we get. I'm not sure right now. They're gonna take over Riverside County from the Angels. They kind of own it already. Is Ontario and Riverside County or no? It's San Bernardino County, right? Whatever. Is a new fresh start going to be good in a few years? Let's see. Tim, your predictions on what moves Marlins make to not get penalized. Gosh, they haven't spent any money, have they? Well, they may have to go the Brent Rooker route and pay some of their own players, which they should do anyway. Maybe Sandy Alcantara, whatever. Sign him in. They already traded Luzardo, so that's a contract. Yeah, they're stupid. Hey, Hep. Gavin? Is that who you're happy with is gone? Let's see. I'm not seeing anything else from you. Yeah. Yep, Gavin Lux is gone. Time to move on. Clayton McCullough there. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's the Marlins coach, manager. You know, the whole Skip Schumacher thing blew up. I don't know why. I guess it's because the Marlins suck. I mean, that's a terrible organization. Just move. You you can't make Miami happen. I don't know what's wrong with you. They could become such a. I mean, let's be honest. Miami, sign some Cubanos, right? Sign some Cubanos. Make your team exciting. Ah, Mr. White, thank you. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you very much. I appreciate you a lot for the $5. Let's see. Norm asks, will Sheehan eventually earn his way to a slot in the rotation, or is his future trade fodder? Boy, they really liked him. I mean, they traded Pepe over him, and then he was hurt right away. He has to be healthy first and foremost. I like his stuff. I don't know if he's a starter or reliever. I just know he's got really good stuff. But now having this TJ stuff changes things for him. So I think he's just got to prove himself. I think the Dodgers have so much young talent. in the starting rotation that's injured, and we don't know how many of them are really going to bounce back. But some of these guys, their first Tommy John, if it's Tommy John. I mean, Nick Frasso was a shoulder, I thought, which is more concerning to me than Tommy John. Brian G, Tim, you and DMAC do really well when you're on Dodger Nation. All Doug and I do, that's how we talk on the phone. We'll just go back. We'll just keep talking. We'll just keep sometimes interrupting each, but just talking about. We both love baseball, and we bring that out. I think you can see that how much we enjoy it. And actually, we're probably a little more tame, but yeah, I really like being on with Doug. He's anytime he asks, I try to get on. Hep says never was convinced getting a real big leaguer for him was in play, seeing his hometown team reject him. This outcome was the best one. Yeah, it is what it is, right? It's about all you can do. Yeah. And I just wish it worked out better. I mean, I was there for his first game, first hit. Hoping, I still remember when I first saw him play live, it was in 2018. And he was bad. It was the first swing I saw of him at Rancho, and first pitch crushed it. Deep, dead center field. It had that sound. And there was always that question about shortstop with him, because I saw him throw, and I saw him make an error. And just watching him out there, it just wasn't pretty as a shortstop. You could see that Yipsy thingy was there in his head. You just see it. I know it because I have it. I've had the yips. My son's had the yips. I know what that looks like. I know what it feels like. It's awful. And then him getting moved position to position. 2020 got COVID. He never really got into it. He just never recovered that well. 2021, they were trying him everywhere. He tried to be third after one game in OKC. They brought him up to play Major League third base. So it's just stupid. I don't think they did him any favors, but they really liked him. I mean, they thought a lot of him. I mean, we probably would have had old what's that dude's name? Lindor, or as Bowden would call him, Lindor. Let's see. Norm says, thoughts on Murakami announcing he will be posted out the 2025 season wearing a Dodgers cap. Hey, yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what he gets. And do the Dodgers want him? It's got to be a two-way street. And he can't be a crappy third baseman. Now, maybe they go, we could sign him and he could eventually, slide over for Freddie. I don't know. Good question, though. I really want to see him play. Let's see, Mr. Classic. I honestly think we'll go after Vlad for third base soon. I was wondering, and if Vlad Guerrero could get his butt and stay in shape and play third, if he played third base this year, it gets him an extra $100 million. Easy peasy. Probably more. So he should get in shape. And he's in better shape. But stay in shape and work on it. Become a good third baseman. Or just average. Just be average. You be an average third baseman with that thump. Oh, bring it. Let's see. Brian G. Yeah, D-Mac's interview with Blake Trinan was his best interview. Doug really does great interviews. Blake is a solid guy. An upstanding citizen. Dodger for the rest of his life. Yeah. And real quick here. Hold on. Yeah, that I texted Doug after I saw that interview. So that was one of the best that I've seen. It was so good. And, the subject was good. Because Trinan was willing to go out there a bit. I loved it. One of those StatCast from Hep says, one of those StatCast pictures of Murakami were reminiscent of Muncy and Gallo walks, power, strikeouts. Boy, speaking of Gallo, man, The guy's looking for small contracts. A lot of talent, just really couldn't put it back in there. Norm says, I predict Cohen will overspend to get Guerrero and Tucker in free agency. I think so too. I think he wants to counter the Dodgers 1, 2, 3 of Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman. Yeah, I mean, the guy's got the money and he loves the Mets. Good for him. Got to pitching though. Hey, let's see. Well, I wonder. Yeah, our MV3 is getting old too. Yeah, that's true. They're gonna have to. Freddie will be. He's Mookie's 32. Playing him at short's gonna make it even worse. Charlie Stokes. Austin Barnes is the best backup catcher in MLB, or he wouldn't be on the team. I love Austin Barnes. I'm a fan, and I think he's also very valuable. I think in my opinion, he is the future manager of this team. If Dave Roberts ever decides he's done. You notice I said he ain't no fired. He ain't getting fired. We're gonna have to get younger soon. Guerrero is perfect to replace. Oh, I'd love that. Absolutely, I would love that. If Roki goes to Padres with this ownership thing, what a sucker! Yeah, I would totally lose respect for him. That just means he's such a Darvish fanboy. That's what he'd want. So that would just be a lack of. I just totally no respect, no respect at all. So yeah, he should not do that. All right, I need to get to bed. So I've gone. Oh my gosh, I've gone. About an hour and 45 minutes. So time to wrap it up a bit. But hey, another eventful day in Dodgerland. I mean, geez, I didn't think we were gonna get Hae-Sung Kim, and then leading to, of course, Luxy being traded. I saw maybe Luxy being traded eventually. Yeah, that was always talked about. But who will be the first to return to the pitching mound in 2025? Ohtani or Kershaw? Oh, I think it'll be Ohtani. Yeah, I do. I think Kershaw. He had a couple. Even though it all happened at once, he had 2 surgeries. So we'll see. But Kershaw work hard. I just want to see him get his 32 strikeouts and walk off. Yes. Good night, everyone. Yeah, let's start wrapping it. Let's wrap. Again, sorry about the boring background. It'll change. Not quite sure when, but I worked first day back 10.8 hours, so that's why I didn't get a chance to do the work here in terms of the background. I'd rather spend some time talking about all this fun stuff that happened, and that it is boring, but you're welcome. All right, let's get into this here real quick. All right, to start ending it, we're gonna end it good. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Give us Roki, baby. Yeah, thanks as always. Appreciate you. Aloha, Mr. Hand. Aloha. So as always, I gotta find my thing. Where am I at? As always, folks, God bless and go Dodgers. watching the end of the stream. I don't know if it's still on, but I'm just waiting for it to end. From what I'm watching on YouTube. I'm just hoping it ends. It's so far behind. Like, we're like 2-3 minutes behind. I don't know if y'all could still hear me. I hate watching myself. Looks like it's finally wrapping up. Good Lord. Oh, finally. Good Lord. All right, adios.